All right, so today we're going to be diving deep into the world of Pashto poetry,
Yeah,
and uh, more specifically, the work of Rahman Baba.
that's right.
Now, I got to tell you, I, I find the nickname that he earned,
Mm-hmm.
the Nightingale of Pashto Poetry, incredibly intriguing.
Yeah, it's
So what is it about his poetry that really inspires such a beautiful comparison?
well, it really is fascinating how this title has stuck with him through the centuries.
Right.
Brahma Baba, who lived from 1653 to 1711,
Okay.
was just so incredibly influential, and
Yeah.
and his poetry wasn't just beautiful; it was also deeply spiritual and mystical.
Okay.
And he tapped into something that I think is really universal.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Longing, our connection to something greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
And did it all with such lyrical beauty that
Yeah.
his words really still resonate with people even today.
So spiritual depth.
Exactly.
But we're talking about poetry that's hundreds of years old.
Right.
How does that stay relevant to modern readers?
Well,
I mean, the world's changed so much.
that's what's so remarkable about it.
Right.
You take his most famous collection, Diwan-e-Rahman Baba,
Okay.
and people, still turn to it for comfort, for inspiration, even guidance.
Wow.
It's almost like a spiritual handbook in a way.
Yeah.
And his poems, they explore these timeless human struggles.
Right.
Doubt,
Yeah.
loss, the search for meaning.
Right.
And even in our modern world,
Yeah.
those themes are just as powerful as they were centuries ago.
So it's not just about pretty words, right?
Right.
It's about connecting
Exactly.
to something deeper within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So can you give us an example of
Yeah.
a verse that really captures that essence?
Yeah. So there's this one that I find particularly moving.
Okay.
And in English it translates to,
Yeah.
"In the garden of my heart, 1,000 roses bloom. Each one a prayer, a longing for you."
1,000 roses bloom, each one a prayer.
Yeah.
That's powerful imagery.
It is.
It almost feels like a
Yeah.
physical manifestation of yearning for the divine.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of yearning,
Sure.
didn't Raman Baba also write about love
Absolutely.
in a more earthly sense?
Oh, yeah. His love poems are just as profound.
Really?
Yeah. And he didn't shy away from the pain of love either.
Oh, okay.
The heartache and the longing.
Yeah.
There's this one verse that reads, "My heart is a captive bird, its song a lament,
Mm-hmm.
for the love that took flight, leaving only emptiness."
Wow, it's incredible
Yeah,
how he captures that feeling of loss so vividly,
I know.
and reading these translations,
Yeah.
I can't help but wonder about the musicality
Right.
of the original Pashto.
I know. It's
It must have been something
yeah.
really special.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, Rahman Baba's poetry was known for its rhythm and its rhyme.
Okay.
And the way the words just flowed, like music.
Yeah.
And it's said that his verses, they were often sung,
Wow.
which just added another layer of beauty and emotion
I bet.
to his work.
Yeah.
Which sadly, I think some of that's inevitably lost in translation.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So
That makes me want to learn Pashto just to experience the full impact of his poetry.
Exactly. But even in translation,
Yeah.
the depth and the beauty of Raman Baba's work is so clear.
It is.
His legacy as the Nightingale of Pashto poetry is well-deserved.
Absolutely.
And to you, dear listener, I encourage you to discover the magic of Raman Baba's poetry for yourself.
Yeah.
Perhaps you'll find a verse that resonates with your own soul
You might.
and discover a new way to connect with the timeless beauty of Pashto literature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So